Sick of breakdowns, pricey repairs, and plans getting ruined on the shoulder? This 2026 update. Today is 20 motorcycles that stay reliable, comfortable, and simple to live with. For each one, we'll hit the engine logic, seat height in inches, tank in gallons, and real MPG targets. We'll also give new stickers and used price ranges, so you can shop without guessing. Wait until you see the quiet-looking workhorse racking miles like failure is illegal. Then we roll. Number 20. Honda SCR950. This one is for riders who want comfort, want reliable miles, and do not want drama every time the key turns. The Honda SCR950 looks plain and friendly, but it racks up miles like it is angry at breakdowns. Under us sits a 471 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled parallel twin, a proven layout that stays smooth because it is not chasing peak power. That low-stress tune matters. Fewer wild RPM swings, steady temps, and simple service intervals that keep ownership peaceful. Because this motor lives across Honda's 500 family, parts are widely available, and shops treat it like a familiar job. That keeps repairs simple, and it is why owners brag about starting every morning without trouble year after year. If fit is the win, comfortable seat at about 31.1 inches, about 425 pounds curb, anti-lock braking for secure stops, and a stable feel when we crawl through parking lots. One rider said, "Bike is well planted at 75 miles per hour. The wind on my chest is far more demanding than the bike. And power delivery is good. Fuel is the only place it feels modest. The tank is about 3.2 gallons, and riding lands around 45 to 60 miles per gallon. So range is decent, but not endless. That means roughly 140 to 190 miles before we are hunting gas. Still solid, just not touring range. What makes it special is how natural it feels. Neutral bars, an easy reach, and a clutch that stays light without feeling weak. Around town, it stays agile. On back roads, it holds a clean line. And on the highway, it is calmer than its looks suggest. New starts near $6,799. Used usually runs $4,500 to $6,000. A smart window for a reliable daily bike. The only knock is the small tank, but the payoff is simple ownership, lighter feel than it looks, and parking lot confidence. And the next pick goes even lighter, like a mini missile. If repair bills feel painful, tap like, because we're choosing smart machines that avoid draining shop visits. Number 19, Kawasaki Ninja 300. Some commuter sport bikes look flashy, but this one stays reliable, durable, and weirdly relaxed about miles. The liquid-cooled parallel twin is about 296 cubic centimeters, and it lasts because the tune is mellow and the load stays low. Keep oil clean, keep cool and healthy, and the power stays smooth instead of soaring. Valve checks are not scary. Chain care is simple, and the bike rewards consistent basics more than fancy upgrades. Fuel tank is about 4.5 gallons. Miles per gallon often lands 55 to 70, and that means 200 plus miles before we even think about fuel. Seat height lands around 30.9 inches, so stops feel secure without the bike feeling tiny. A 6-speed gearbox, fuel injection, and cheap tires make ownership simple, not stressful, even when we pile on miles. One rider said, "But damn if that bike wasn't the bee's knees on the trails around where I grew up. I'd buy another in a second." Most clean used riders usually bring $2,900 to $3,500, and the last new MSRP hovered around $4,999. What makes it special is how it feels light, stable, and willing, even when our day is just errands and traffic. The downside is highway wind and a small fairing pocket, so long interstate slogs still need brakes. If you want something even more tractor tough, the next pick laughs at potholes and dirt roads. Number 18, Suzuki DR200S. When the road turns ugly, we want simple control, tough hardware, and reliable manners that do not get moody. The DR200S uses an air-cooled single around 199 cubic centimeters, and it survives because it is not chasing big numbers. Oil changes are basic, valve checks are simple, and the bike keeps starting when fancy machines throw tantrums. The suspension is not fancy, but it is durable, and the skinny setup keeps the steering light and secure on sketchy surfaces. Fuel tank is about 3.4 gallons. Miles per gallon often hits 65 to 75, and range can touch 200 miles when we ride peacefully. Seat height is usually around 33.1 inches, so shorter legs may want boots and practice. Weight is about 278 pounds, still light, and the narrow seat helps it feel secure on gravel. New pricing was around $4,649 when listed, while used examples stay budget-friendly if you shop smart. What makes it special is that it feels durable, forgiving, and ready to live outside, not just in a garage. The trade-off is speed, because this bike prefers a calmer pace, and it will not make highway passes feel swift. If you want more street comfort and a smoother engine note, our next bike brings triple-cylinder smoothness all day. If your wallet hates painful repairs and you love smart bikes, hit like, subscribe, and comment your longest mileage right now too. Number 17. Triumph Trident 660. Now we pivot to a middleweight that feels smooth, stable, and refreshingly grown up from the first mile. The 660 cubic centimeters triple is tuned for usable torque, so it pulls clean at low RPM and does not beg for constant shifting. Stay on schedule, use quality fluids, and this motor stays reliable while still feeling enjoyable. Fuel tank is about 3.7 gallons. Miles per gallon commonly runs 45 to 55, and that sets up 170 to 200 mile legs with one stop. Seat height rests around 31.7 inches, and the bike feels secure at stops without feeling cramped. Wet weight is about 419 pounds, so it handles lighter than its spec sheet suggests in tight turns. New pricing starts around $8,595, and used bikes commonly land $4,500 to $7,000 plus, depending on trim and miles. What makes it special is the balance. Modern brakes and traction help, but the ride still feels simple, not overcomplicated. Chain care stays basic, and the motor likes routine attention, so it keeps running strong without surprise drama. The light negative is service discipline, because skipping it turns a small problem into a brutal bill. If you want the same always starts vibe, but even more cheap day-to-day, the next pick is ultralight, ultra simple, and pure utility. Number 16. Honda XR150L. For a pure never-die attitude, few machines feel as stubborn, simple, and reliable as this little trail single. The engine is about 149 cubic centimeters, built for steady work, and it lasts because it makes modest power and stays peaceful at normal RPM. Air cooling, simple gearing, and a low-stress tune keep it durable. Fuel tank is about 2.8 gallons. Miles per gallon often lives around 70 to 85, and that gives real range for such a small bike. Seat height is commonly around 32.8 inches, and the narrow seat makes it feel secure even if it sounds tall on paper. Curb weight is about 282 pounds, so parking lot moves feel lighter and less stressful on tired knees. Exhaust sound of Honda XR150L. New pricing starts around $3,299, and used bikes often sit close to that because demand stays steady. What makes it special is grabs the keys to ownership. It starts, it runs, it shrugs off bad fuel days, and it forgives beginner mistakes. Tires are cheap, parts are common, and the whole bike is built to be simple when we do our own wrenching at home. The downside is power, because long freeway stints can feel noisy and tiring when traffic is rushing. If you want the next step up, we go bigger, torquier, and more highway comfort without adding a bunch of complicated tech. Number 15. Yamaha SCR950. Sometimes our hands want torque we pull, stable tracking, and comfort that feels right at real speeds. This SCR looks simple, but the air-cooled 942 cubic centimeters twin is tuned for reliable low RPM miles. The power comes in smooth and steady, and the two-valve layout keeps service basic and predictable. The belt drive cuts grime, and that means simple care and more peaceful, practical riding. Valve checks are spaced out, and the motor stays cooler in summer traffic, which helps reliable wear patterns and keeps riders peaceful for long hauls. Most used examples land 5 to 8,000, and solid runners feel reasonable for long-term value. Original new pricing was about $8,699, so the used value still feels smart and stable today. Fuel capacity is about 3.2 gallons. Miles per gallon runs 45 to 55, and seat height is about 32.1 inches for practical comfort. Expect roughly 150 to 200 miles before fuel, depending on pace and headwind stress, which is realistic. Wet weight is roughly 547 pounds, so parking lots can feel heavier when the pavement is rough. Still, on open roads it feels planted and confident, and the seat and bars stay comfortable for normal days. Vibration exists, but it stays manageable, and that torquey roll-on makes passing feel effortless on back roads, even loaded up. If you like this relaxed feel, the next pick stays lighter and cheaper. Drop your highest mileage in the comments, then hit like if expensive repairs make you bitter and stubborn. Number 14. Kawasaki Z125 Pro. Tiny bikes can be cheap therapy with reliable starts and simple manners in traffic. The 125 cubic centimeters air-cooled single is fuel-injected, low-stress, and it runs happy with reliable basic service. A 4-speed box and light clutch keep riding smooth, and the chassis stays stable at city pace. Used pricing usually sits at $2,000 to $3,200, which is budget-friendly, and new is around $3,399. Fuel is about 2.0 gallons. MPG can hit 80 to 100, and errands stay practical and cheaper. Top speed of Kawasaki Z125 Pro.
I hit 66 there. Mile an hour on my Z125.
Seat height is around 31.7 inches. Weight is about 224 pounds, and stops feel secure and confident. Tires are small, parts are common, and fixing stuff feels simple with patience. The trait is speed, because highways can feel stressful when the wind turns nasty. If you want more range and fairing comfort, number 13 keeps things reliable and smooth. Number 13. Honda CBR 500R. A fairing helps on cold mornings, and we get comfort, reliable manners, and smooth control without drama. Honda's 471 cubic centimeters parallel, twin lives, low stress, so it stays durable and reliable. 6 speeds keep RPM civilized, and roll-ons feel strong and smooth at highway pace. Oil, coolant, and a steady chain routine keep ownership simple, and parts support stays strong. New starts around $7,399, while used runs $4,600 to $9,700, still sharp and friendly. Fuel capacity is about 4.5 gallons. Miles per gallon runs 50 to 65, and range feels solid and ready. Seat height is around 31 inches, curb weight is roughly 423 pounds, and ABS adds stable control. Highway air stays quieter behind the fairing, and our shoulders stay relaxed for peaceful commutes. It will not feel razor sharp, but that calm delivery is exactly why it stays reliable. If you want more friendly charm with a low seat and peaceful, comfortable pace, number 12 goes full chill mode. Number 12. Suzuki RV 200 VanVan 200. Think of this as a peaceful runabout with comfortable balance and a reliable attitude. The 199cc air-cooled single is built for mellow miles, so it stays durable and reliable. Used pricing is weird, but clean ones sit $3,500 to $5,000 because supply stays scarce and demand stays strong. The tank is about 1.7 gallons. Miles per gallon hits 60 to 75, and stops happen often, so trips feel shorter. Seat height is around 30 inches, and the wide tires feel stable when roads get crumbly. Weight is roughly 280 pounds, so pushing it around feels simple and secure. It is special because it forgives clumsy inputs, and low-speed steering feels plush and friendly. The downside is wind and speed, because long highway stretches can feel tiring and noisy. If you want touring legs with triple smoothness and better wind cover, number 11 steps up without feeling complicated. Number 11. Triumph Tiger Sport 660. When we want one bike for errands and weekends, we chase comfort, stable handling, and reliable passing power. The 660 cubic centimeters triple feels smooth in the middle, and it stays durable when service stays consistent. Ride-by-wire mapping keeps throttle response clean, and that helps traction feel secure on wet days. New pricing starts around $9,695, and used runs $7,200 to $10,800. Spendy, but reasonable. Fuel is about 4.4 gallons. MPG lands 45 to 55, and range feels ready and practical. Seat height is about 32.7 inches. Wet weight is roughly 456 pounds, and the posture stays neutral and comfortable. Add a taller screen and soft bags, and it becomes a comfortable, reliable mile eater for weekend escapes. It is special because it mixes touring calm with lively response without the heavy fatigue of bigger machines. The light negative is a wind setup and taller fit because small tweaks matter for quieter, stable comfort. If you want similar reliable confidence with a proven twin and more ADV posture, the next pick is a straight workhorse. Like and subscribe for smaller bills, and comment on the most reliable bike you ever owned. Number 10. Honda NX500. When we want a do-it-all bike, we want comfort, reliable manners, and modern control. This adventure posture feels natural, stable, and ready for days without track drama. The proven 471 cubic centimeters twin stays cooler, runs low stress, and keeps service simple. Fuel injection feels smooth, starts clean, and the clutch pull stays lighter. You get a 4.7-gallon tank, realistic 40 to 55 miles per gallon, and about 200 to 260 miles of range. Seat height is 32.8 inches. Weight is 432 pounds, and anti-lock brakes keep stops stable, confident. New starts at $7,399 for solid value, while used listings usually sit $7,600 to $10,000. What makes it special is the calm torque, the upright view, and daily versatility that never feels fragile. The wide bar and neutral pegs keep wrists happy, and wind protection feels decent. We also like that common wear items stay affordable, and the parallel twin has a long, proven track record. The only catch is that a taller seat can feel awkward and tricky at stoplights for shorter inseams. If this middleweight balance feels perfect, the next pick adds sharper punch and more modern attitude. Number 9, Suzuki GSX-8R. A sporty shell can still give comfort, reliable miles, and smooth energy for riders. This modern parallel twin is built for torquey drive, not peaky stress, so it stays durable when we stay on time. Think mid-range, steady cooling, and fuel injection that keeps throttle response consistent and predictable. Fuel is 3.7 gallons, miles per gallon tends to land 40 to 50, and range stays realistic for useful loops. Seat height sits around 32 inches, depending on year, and anti-lock brakes with traction aids keep rides comfortable, secure. Modern pricing hovers near $9,700, value stretch, and used examples start in high eights. Ergos are sporty, but not cruel, and the smooth gearbox makes backroads fun without constant clutch work. What makes it special is that it feels strong, stable, and fun, yet it never begs for constant shifting. The downside is modern reality, skip service, and the bill gets uglier. Swift. Keep fluids clean, chains adjusted, and tires fresh, and the bike stays happy for years. If you want the opposite vibe, the next machine goes dirty first and can take a beating. Number 8, Kawasaki KLX300. Off pavement, we care about simple toughness, reliable starts, and stable control more than speed. This single-cylinder dual sport stays lustrous, easy to wrench, and cheaper to keep running than most. The tank is about 2.0 gallons. Mileage stays honest 60 to 70, and range lands 120 to 140 miles. Seat height is tall, around 35 inches, weight is 300 pounds, and suspension stays stable for rough work. Used prices commonly land $4,000 to $5,300, a Fairlie smart band depending on year and setup. With fresh tires and a clean chain, it feels secure on gravel, and maintenance stays simple. What makes it special is how it shrugs off drops, ruts, and dusty fuel with basic maintenance and a clean air filter. Controls feel lighter, steering feels quicker, and the bike stays steadier once we stand up on the pegs. The trade is that the tall seat can feel intimidating and demanding until your confidence catches up. If you want street toughness instead of dirt grit, the next pick brings an inline 4. Keeps spinning forever. Number 7, Yamaha YX600 Radian. Old school standards still win because they give comfort, reliable ownership, and stable feedback. The 598cc inline 4 is tuned for steady, relaxed pull, not highly strung drama, so it handles commuting and backroad miles. With carburetors that stay accessible and a layout that invites basic wrenching, upkeep feels simple once it is sorted. Expect a tank around 4.0 gallons, typical 40 to 50 miles per gallon, and a consistent, realistic range near 160 to 200 miles between stops. Seat height sits near 31 inches, and the bars and pegs land neutral, making longer days feel peaceful. Prices vary, but affordable runners often sit $2,000 to $3,000, while cleaner, stock examples can push $4,000 to $6,000. What makes it special is common wear parts, plus a smooth throttle that never feels twitchy. Stock exhaust keeps it quieter and smooth, not harsh. The caution is vintage, so be careful, stay patient, and check charging health, rubber boots, and carb sync before a long trip. A tire set and fork oil can restore a confident, stable feel in minutes. Want similar sanity with more modern polish? Next up brings a refined 4 with strong highway legs. Number 6, Honda CBR 650R. There's something addicting about smooth power, stable corners, and mature control on the highway. This 649 cubic centimeters in line, 4 spins, silky, stays balanced, and eats miles when oil and coolant stay clean. Curb weight is 456 pounds with a balanced feel, tank is around 4.5 gallons, and MPG lands realistic 40 to 50. Seat height is about 32 inches, and passing power feels strong without leader bike warmth. New starts at $9,899, a steeper value, and used examples usually run $6,500 to $12,700. What makes it special is refined response, confident brakes, and a fairing that keeps wind blunted at speed. The warning is simple, maintenance is not optional, and skip checks turn into uglier costs. Treat it right, and it stays reliable for years, even with heavier commutes and daily startups. If you love the Smooth 4, the next pick sharpens the edge and still stays reliable when we respect the schedule. Number 5. Triumph Street 77765. Some bikes were built for grinning, not posing, and this one hits sharp and smooth when we roll out. The Triple is a reliable workhorse when we keep oil clean and services on time, and it never feels fragile or fussy. That 765cc layout pulls with strong mid-range, then keeps spinning without the buzzy, high-stress drama. It is liquid-cooled and fuel-injected, so start, stay clean, throttle feels smooth, and mornings stop being a painful problem. Expect a tank right around 4.0 gallons, MPG, near 40 to 50, and a seat about 32 inches for comfort and control. Wet weight sits around 416 pounds, so it feels lighter than the numbers, especially once the bars are loaded, and the chassis is stable. Brakes and suspension are quality pieces, and that means fewer sketchy moments and more confident stops when traffic gets stupid. For used money, riders usually land $6,500 to $10,000, and the nicest trims can press $13,000 when the value is clean. What makes it special is that it gives us sport bike thrill without the bulky, sweaty misery of a liter machine on a warm day. Maintenance stays simple if we respect the schedule, but skip a valve check and the bill can turn nasty in a hurry. The only real problem is temptation. It feels so confident and sharp that we start hunting corners like we forgot tomorrow exists. If we want a bike that keeps our knees happy and our brain alert, this one does it with comfort and control. Now, if this much punch sounds fun, the next pick calms the vibe, goes longer, and stacks miles like it is nothing. Number 4. BMW R1250R. When we want day after day reliable riding, this roadster shows up with stable manners and quiet comfort. That boxer twin lives down low, makes torquey shove without screaming, and it is built for routine miles, not weekend bragging. The cylinders stick out in the breeze, so cooling stays steady, the motor feels smooth, and heat stays manageable in slow traffic. We get that steady pull in every gear, plus a shaft drive that feels clean and calm when the pavement gets rough or the wind gets rowdy. And tank size depends on year, but it is roughly 4.8 gallons, and many riders see low to mid-40s miles per gallon for solid range and value. Seat height is typically around 32 inches, and the upright layout keeps wrists relaxed while the bike stays planted at speed. Electronics help, ABS and traction keep things secure. The engine stays smooth, and the vibe stays simple, so we ride smarter in rain, gravel, and ugly crosswinds without twitchy, tense drama. New money sits around $14,695, and used examples usually start near $10,999 for clean value. What makes it special is how effortless passing feels. The motor just leans in, and the whole bike stays stable and secure. Keep up with fluids and scheduled service, and it rewards us with reliable ownership that feels boring in the best way. The light negative is cost, parts, and shop hours, which can feel pricey compared to Japanese standards, so we buy smart and keep records clean. Still, for riders who value comfort and control over chaos, this one is a serious keep-it machine. And if you think modern tech is the only path to reliable miles, the next pick is an older Honda that proves tough is a lifestyle. Number 3. Honda CRF230L. Out on back roads, the kind with potholes and dust, this bike stays simple, tough, and weirdly confident for its size. It runs a low-output 223cc air-cooled single, so the pace stays simple and tough, and it still starts when other bikes are acting dramatic. The whole point is a reliable function. Keep clean oil, adjust the chain, and it just keeps working with very little complaining. Fuel capacity is about 2.3 gallons. Miles per gallon often sits in the 60s, and that means reliable range if we ride peaceful and steady. Seat height is around 31.9 inches. Curb weight about 267 pounds, and the lighter feel keeps stops calmer and simple in gravel. It rolls on a tall front wheel and long travel suspension, so the ride stays plush and controlled when the surface turns ugly fast. Used pricing is all over the map, but clean examples hold solid value because riders know what they're getting. A bike that refuses to quit. What makes it special is how easy it is to understand. No complicated electronics, no fancy modes, just honest traction and simple control. It is not a freeway king. Wind and speed will wear us out, but on dirt and back roads, it feels right and it feels ready. Look for fresh rubber, a healthy battery, and solid suspension, because neglected basics can turn any never-die bike into a painful story. If we want an affordable machine we can teach on, loan out, or keep forever, this one fits with comfort and trust. Next up, we pivot from dirt-proof toughness to classic street durability, the kind of standard you can hand down with pride and reliable ease. Number 2. Honda CB700SC Nighthawk S. Some standards look plain, feel honest, and quietly earn that forever reputation. This one brings reliable grit, comfort manners, and a no-fuss rhythm that keeps us riding instead of wrenching. The core is a 696 cubic centimeters inline-4, carbureted across its run, built for smooth heat control and durable everyday miles. It is not trying to impress a dyno chart, it just starts, settles, and pulls with stable manners when traffic gets ugly. Routine care stays simple, clean oil, fresh plugs, and a steady eye on charging health, and it keeps going like breakdowns are personal. 4 carburetors sound classic, but the setup is simple once dialed, and parts knowledge is common in Honda circles. Even after a long winter, a healthy battery and fresh fuel usually wake it up, which is why owners call it tough. Fuel capacity is about 4.2 gallons, and seat height sits around 31.8 inches, so stops feel confident and comfortable. Buy condition, not paint, because a clean title and service notes matter, and shiny extras do not save you later. Prices are all over the map. Rough riders can be cheaper, but clean stock survivors with records usually sell quick and do not sit long. What makes it special is the all-day layout, neutral bars, sensible pegs, and an engine that feels relaxed even when we hold highway pace. The seat is not a sofa, but it stays supportive and peaceful, so short trips do not become painful. The trade-off is age. Carb tuning can get finicky if it sits too long, and wiring plus rubber bits need attention before they turn annoying. Get a sorted example, and it becomes that honest tool we can ride all week. Then point at the next state without second thoughts. If you want the same forever vibe with nicer finish and modern retro style, the last pick goes upmarket without losing reliable soul. Drop a comment with your highest mileage story, smash likes, and subscribe if you love reliable bikes that last years. Number 1. BMW R12 nineT. Modern retro can be glitzy and shallow, but this one feels built, balanced, and ready for years. The Boxer Twin delivers a torquey shove that stays smooth and calm, so passing is effortless without chasing revs. That low RPM character means less stress, fewer frantic downshifts, and more relaxed comfort riding when our wrists are tired. Reliability is not magic. It is clean routine, oil changes on time, valves checked, and the schedule treated like gospel. When we do that, the bike feels willing every morning, with stable tracking and planted composure on rough pavement. Tank capacity is about 4.2 gallons, weight is roughly 485 pounds, and seat height is around 31.3 inches, so the fit stays practical and confident. The posture is upright enough for comfort, and the controls feel natural, so long days do not beat you up, even with luggage. New pricing starts around $17,245, and used examples are still settling, but you are paying for premium, real build quality. What makes it special is the way it blends a classic stance with modern brakes and a ride that feels smooth, secure, and never jittery. The downside is the premium ecosystem. Parts and service can get pricey, and skipped maintenance can turn the bill brutal. Still, this is the kind of motorcycle we ride for years, not seasons, because it feels quality and stays reliable mile after mile. That is the real never-die truth. Pick the bike that fits, keep the basics clean, and it will show up with quiet, trusted confidence. Click the next video, keep your wallet, knees, and riding time secure from costly surprises. Subscribe for reliable picks, simple upkeep, and comfort wins that make every mile better. What machine has the highest mileage you have seen, and why?